To the left! You don't tell me! To the left! Next prisoner! Duck your head! Side step, prisoner! Get out of my way! Step! 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 Walk! Left! Call my fucking lawyer. Hey, shut the fuck up!
Well then, now that we are all here, certainly, it is my absolute delight to announce the Metal Hammer Trespass America Tour. And first up on the bill, we have Kyle Gunther from Battlecross. Next up on the bill, we have God Forbid, who could not be here today. Also joining us on the bill are Emmure with Frank Di Palmieri and Jesse Keytight. Also joining us on Trespass America are Pop Evil, who could not be here today. Complete delight to announce Trivium with Matt Heapy representing. Also joining us on Trespass America are Killswitch Engage with Jesse Leach representing. Ladies and gentlemen, completing the Metal Hammer Trespass America Tour, one of the greatest metal bands and my friends. Allow me to introduce the mighty Five Finger Death Punch.
Will you guys do another USO tour anytime soon?
We would like to.
It's going to take some time. We just got back from Kuwait. We went over there for a second time, and it's probably too long overdue. It was a year and a half before we did that. We filmed the Bad Company video there the first time, went back for the second, and yeah, no, it's always an honor. Every time we go over there, it's almost life-changing. So we're looking forward to going back.
Yeah, any chance you'll do any stateside military installations?
Zoltan.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, so many times we don't have it on the schedule. People don't see it, but we do schedule stuff in Germany, do it in all over Europe, and do it here. We visit military hospitals and they send out other tours. So it usually happens, but we don't do stateside yet, but like a real USO tour, but it may happen. Actually, every show we play is kind of almost, you know, half of the audience is military, so it's kind of a military show.
Why is a UK magazine promoting a tour in America?
That's why we're calling it Trespass. Figure it out.
Well, I think it's a completely valid question, sir. The Metal Hammer's been around for about 25 years, and over the years we've developed an audience around the world. I often think of what we do as not covering a genre of music, but a community. And it's increasingly apparent to us that it's a global one. We have friends in Indonesia, in India, Vietnam, China, all around the world, and indeed in the States. We have an iPad edition we distribute here, and we have a great relationship with all the bands playing on Trespass.
Carla Harder for Over TV. You guys have always been actively involved in the military. What is your tie to the military?
We all have ties to the military in one way or another. My entire family was military to a degree. I know that Zoltan grew up on an Air Force base out in Hungary. You'd have to ask some of the other bands what theirs are, but we've always had ties, and we just have a serious respect for the men and women who serve our country. So.
I'm the only non-military male of my dad's side entirely. I was born in a Marine Corps base in Iwakuni, Japan. So yeah, it's cool to finally be able to get more involved with that audience, since Five Finger Death Punch definitely has that going on. So that's something I've always been very supportive of, because basically without it I wouldn't exist. So I mean, my dad would have met my mom over there. So yeah, good times.
My brother served for about 6 years, U.S. military, U.S. Army.
It actually feels like an interrogation because we can't see you guys. So it's like, you feel a little bit of a real interrogation.
I heard a really hot voice say Revolver TV, and that's all I got.
Get you guys some alcohol out there. You guys are quiet.
Yeah. Should get us some alcohol.
Yes. You guys get us alcohol.
When does the tour start?
It's July 13th, Friday the 13th. We headed off at Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. We figured out a better place to start it. I honestly, and I'm going to say this really quick, it's an honor to be out here with these bands. Seriously, Trivium, Killswitch, we've been friends with these guys forever. Pop Evil, God forbid. This is going to be an amazing tour. And anybody who thinks otherwise, go to the other ones. Don't waste your time.
Without giving away too much, what do you have production-wise that you're going to unveil for this thing?
Minus a nuclear bomb?
Yeah.
We just rolled them, man. Just rolled up in it.
We just rolled up in it.
All I know is that the accountants are giving us a hard time. The building has begun. We've put together something utilizing height, depth. You know, we like to roll big, and it costs a lot of money.
Well, and I think the great part is that a lot of these places are indoor, and we did it for a reason. We want every band on this bill to have full production. Anything they can bring to the table, they're more than welcome. This is an event, not just a show. So.
What size venues did you target?
Anything under 10,000. That was supposed to be funny.
Yeah, these are all arenas and sheds, you know. I mean, it's a festival, so there are 7 bands, and we're kind of trying to create an environment. So the whole idea is that, you know, once you come through the gates of Trespass America, it's your sort of an amusement park for metalheads, or, you know, whatever we want to put it. But we definitely want to. So it's not just the stage. It's not just you know, when you go to a show, usually you look at the stage and you could have seen it on a video, you know. But what we're trying to do is involve the entire audience. So it's an experience. It's important that when you go to a show, you say, "Hey, I was there," instead of just say, "I've seen this." You have to have the experience, an environmental experience. So we're trying to kind of step out of the norm and do something, you know, something crazy like what's happening here right now.
Well, and we're aware that every band on this bill, in one form or another, could pack just about any venue in the country. So to put these together, we wanted to create a festival environment, but in the same token, do it our way. Every band on this venue, exactly, has also been through hundreds of different festivals. So we decided this was the best way to go about it. And like I said,
there's a lot of talent together in one venue here, and I think if we all keep practicing hard, we can totally get record deals, guys.
Yeah. Hey, you got one of those Mayan books or those face spaces?
Yeah,
that's
we can
weird,
totally get
man.
signed.
You guys are bad.
Yeah.
Y'all got a demo?
I have a question for you guys. My name's Aisha. I'm with Mixdown Magazine, kind of in shadow. I wanted to know, how long is this tour going? Is it going to be like all through the summer up to the fall, or is this like a pretty short tour?
It's
month
really,
and a half.
yeah, it's about a month and a half.
Almost a month.
About 8 weeks.
Okay.
Did you say your name was Aisha?
Yes.
Do you ever listen to ABC?
Yes. Can you say it for me?
Aisha, you are the girl that I never had.
That just happened.
Cut that.
Beer bottle away.
Not on YouTube.
Next.
Carla from Revolver TV again. Jesse, is this your first tour, complete tour back? Obviously, the obvious question is, how does it feel to be back?
It feels amazing, and looks like we're doing Europe first, but this will be the first U.S. tour back, yeah. And it's going to be amazing. I guarantee it.
I'm really excited, honestly, to see you back with
Thanks,
me.
dude.
Yeah, honestly, it's
Wait
going
for
to
the
be
new
kick-ass,
record.
man.
Wait for the new record.
Yeah, I'd like to say as a Killswitch fan, metal needed Jesse's return. So yeah, it's amazing. It's very good. Yes. Also, this tour is definitely something. This tour definitely need to happen the way you guys decided to do it, because I think this is the way touring has to go. Bands that have like-minded bands that are striving for the same style, packing the same kids in, versus we've seen a lot of tours that we've done where we're the complete odd man out, and people don't exactly know what to do with that. And I think it's better that metal has a chance to thrive and live thanks to this festival you guys are putting together. And earlier, a question you guys were asking about Metal Hammer. A lot of publications around the world, I guess typically more so in the States, usually delve in what's in at that moment or in that month or in that year. But Metal Hammer is based off a lifestyle. It's based off metal. It's the thing that brought all of us here, and that's why we're able to put on tours like this and exist in this world. So it's amazing that Metal Hammer can come over to the US a little bit more, and then I hope that metal fans over here start to read it more, because that we spend most of our time overseas. We're not really in the States that much, and we see that Metal Hammer is a lifestyle. It is something that their award show is kind of what sparked what came over here even a week ago. So I hope that metal's awareness becomes a little bit more of a focal point in the States, because it's, looking around in the States compared to the rest of the world, there are so many subgenres here that it kind of hurts, and it sucks to see trends come in and out every couple of months. But it's nice that metal is getting the recognition it deserves right now, so yeah.
Which is the other reason we called it Trespass. We figured that there's too much commonwealth within the modern radio. So this is a way for all of us as metal musicians to get out there and make sure they know that we're still here and we're not going anywhere.
How good does it feel for everybody who's a part of this to know that they're getting full production and full support on stage? Because I think every one of you has horror stories of being a band maybe not treated as well or as respectfully as you could have from maybe some of the headlining acts before.
Well, I mean, that's like an honor and a blessing, really. Thank you guys so much for letting us, you know, have the space to do what we want to do creatively on stage, honestly. It's like I said, it's a blessing and an honor to be part of this tour, and the fact that we can take that stage and do what we like with it is really, I don't know, how do people understand how amazing that is for us. So thank you guys again.
It's part of the reason why we wanted to try to keep most of the shows indoors too, so that everyone could, you know, bring their own light and put on the show that they would if they were headlining, you know.
Because it gets wearing. You go to festivals and you've got 15 bands in broad daylight, have no production whatsoever, and it really lays it on the line of how much sweat and blood they're willing to put into their set. When at the end of the day, we're all musicians, and we all play places like the Key Club and the Whiskey, and for every band in here, it should be a necessity to go up there and give everything you have, production included. And not one of us is here because we've had less. So every band at this table right now, guarantee you we've all played the noon slot somewhere else, sharing porta potties with
I played on the floor last night.
There you go, see? Yeah, absolutely. So, no, this is a chance for every band to bring it 110%, no going backwards. You wanted it, you got it.
Not many metal bands get consistent radio play. What makes Death Punch attractive to radio program directors?
He has dreadlocks, dude. Duh.
It's the dreadlocks.
Are you able to see all of this?
I'm fabulous, man.
Look at this right here. Look at this.
Oh look, it's you know, the interesting thing about radio is that it's, well, how would I say this? It's about the songs, really. You know, so when you and there's a golden middle road, so to speak. Like we kind of on the verge of what, you know, if you're listening to our albums, some of the songs kind of slip by the censorship, so to speak. And most of them aren't, but you know, we just happen to be in that verge where when we both reach the underground, because we are a heavy band, but in the same time we have a lot of, you know, melodic songs, and as I said, it's about the songs, and we reach sort of the mainstream, you know, and being that band, some sort of a gatekeeper, I think it's actually our responsibility that, because we do reach mainstream audience, it's our responsibility to do these kind of things, that we put on a festival where we can expose bands that we are in love with, and they may not get the radio that we do. We happen to be lucky that, you know, we just happen to have those kind of songs that jive with radio, but this is how we give back, and that's the idea. Also, Trespassing also means to us that with this festival, combine these bands and Metal Hammer, we will be able to sort of trespass on the turf of the mainstream. You know, we're gonna be able to bring audiences the size that may not, you know, they may not go to individual shows that we have, you know, as a band, if you go to a Death Punch or a Trivium show alone. But now when you look at this whole package, you know, we can bring bigger audiences, and you know, when you talk about arenas and bigger venues, then it has a bigger impact. And Metal Hammer always was sort of a brotherhood, you know. I grew up in Europe, so for us it was a different story. Magazines sort of drive the market. You asked about radio. Europe doesn't really have the same scenario when we have here. We have radio networks. You know, every country has a different language, different system, different this and that. And a magazine like Metal Hammer sort of kept together this sort of metal fan base. And because Metal Hammer also exposes hard rock bands, you know, let's say we have Pop Evil, which is more of a hard rock band, and then you have God Forbid on the same tour here.
Black metal.
Those guys are heavy, you know.
Literally.
Right? So those guys are heavy, and you know, these genres shouldn't be like, you know, we call them sub-genre whores that, you know, that they segregate the genre. It was a brotherhood in Europe, and I think Alex can probably talk about it, how it really comes together. It's important that, you know, people understand that this is sort of a lifestyle. Okay.
And everybody needs to understand, for Metal Hammer to get on board, and for you know, Alex here to actually come on and sign up for this is the forefront of something that's going to be majestic for years to come. You know, this is something that we waited years for, so please.
Well, I have to say, obviously, I'm very honored by such kind words, but I think something I mentioned a little earlier today was a sense of community about what we are doing here. You know, it's that we are not individual bands, we're not individual publications, we are all part of like a much bigger thing. And all of this is based on a certain idealism, a sense of brother and sisterhood and cooperation, because we kind of realize that we are one big family. It doesn't matter what one of the million subgenres you may be a part of. Bottom line is, if you're metal, then you're one of us, and it's us against them, and it's us against the world. And that's the only way we can do this.
By the way, it was cool, Alex, while you were saying that, there was shit blowing up right over your head. Just a nice counterpoint.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
At what point does the mainstreamness become a credibility issue? Like, and how far is too far? Will we ever see you on Dance with the Stars?
You know what? Credibility issue, if we gave a shit, there would be one. But we didn't get into metal to really care what the opinions of others would be. We started this with something, and we're going to finish it.
Well, we made music that we want to listen to. And if other people like it, that's the bonus. But we write songs that are honest, and songs are everything. Songs will always win, so we don't care. You know, I mean, it's selfish at the end of the day. We're fortunate to have a great fan base that enjoy our music, but we make music for ourselves, really.
One more question, I'm told. Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
No, I was going to say, you know, when we first started this project, one of the first conversations I ever had with Zoltan and Jeremy was, it's about the song. It's never going to be about the egos. It's not about the money. It's not about the popularity. It's about going to bed at night and being happy with what you do and content with who you are. I think that's something that a lot of rock and roll and metal and the genre, it's just been lost. And that's another reason to bring out all these bands, is every single person at this table is sitting on the forefront of metal.
Besides, actually, you don't control really what, as a band at least, or as an artist, you don't control these things, you know? People either like your music or they don't. You can't buy that. You can't, you know, doesn't matter. You can have any kind of music and spend a lot of money on PR, whatever, it's not gonna work. You can't twist people's arm into liking you. Only Facebook can do that. And, right?
Still don't like me, do you?
Doesn't work. So, you know, it just happens. Those things you can't predict, you can't calculate it, it just happens. If you could, the music industry would be stamped those bands out, but you can't stamp those bands out.
So maybe Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, maybe. I would be.
I can move.
I think the dreadlock would look fabulous.
I'm the best dancer in the world.
Yeah,
have you seen Matt dance? Dude was in the Thriller video. You didn't check it out, man.
Parkour.
Zombie number 3.
All right, last one.
Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out?
In and Out.
Chick-fil-A, come on.
Really?
Chick-fil-A in Los Angeles, but hell yeah, we eat that around the country.
Not on Sundays.
All right, settle down.
Can you give me an update on the album you guys are working on, the next one?
You know, I've always had the theory that I don't work on material when I'm on the road or I'm involved in anything else. The guys write, but I refuse to do anything musically until I get off the road and have time to actually let it soak in.
I'd like to add something to that.
Go ahead.
We,
Good talk.
the last couple records that we made, we sort of came off the extended touring campaign, and then, you know, we kind of kick off the dirt and go, You know, what do we got? And we always just sort of get together and create a thing from scratch with little preparation. And there's something beautiful about that, but there's also something sort of panicky about that. You know, so we sort of thought, let's not interrupt the creative headspace, and so we did actually build a portable studio with, you know, we sort of have a drum kit that gets set up every day, a Pro Tools unit that gets set up every day. And we go in there and our techs hate us. But we go in there every day and just, if something happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the point is, you know, songs are really the only product that can push your band forward. So if we accept the fact that we should always be creating songs, then hopefully we can come off tour, have a short break, and then have some material prepared. So when we talk about the fourth record, we've been preparing. And
in other words, I'm going to get like 40 songs and have to sift through them.
Ivan's always like,
do so much.
Not drop 25 tracks on me at the same time, please.
And as far as
try rhyming the words American capitalist with something, I fucking dare you.
And it's like the musical direction of the fourth record, let's just say it's heavy, man. We sound just like AC/DC on this next one.
Will you get a chance to maybe jam on something at the end of the shows?
What does this word jam mean?
I'm sorry. Say that again? I couldn't hear you. Hold on.
Might the guitar players or various musicians maybe get together at the end of the show and get together and jam on a...
Oh, like a collaboration on stage? Dude, there's so many egos. This is rock and roll. We all hate each other. This is bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. We decided we're going to play Roots, Bloody Roots every night at the end of the day. Yeah? Was that cool?
Cases.
Yeah?
With our hoods.
Yes. Next.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Jesse, can you talk about what it's been like recording again with Killswitch and when we can expect the album?
Hopefully the album in the fall. And as far as writing and the new record, it's fast, it's heavy. You're gonna see definitely a return to some of the roots of where I come from. You know, I'm more of a hardcore punk kid, so I'm definitely bringing some of that back in the lyrics. You know, going against the grain kind of thing. So definitely return to the roots, but also progression. Some of the riffs these guys are coming up with are incredible. It's just a fast, heavy, and actually turning into sort of a pissed off record. So I think people are going to be either pleasantly surprised or not, but I'm super stoked. It's going to be awesome.
Adam pops out. Bad answer.
Yeah.
Nope. Nothing like that.
They may disagree, but that's where it's going, man. I'm super stoked.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to have to wrap up the press conference, but if you want one-on-one interviews, come and see me. Everybody's going to be here talking to you.
And we want to take a second and thank everybody for coming out. We know this was a big spiel, but yeah, thank you guys. And for all you military cats, right here, especially you guys down there, don't look away from me. How you doing? You all right? Thank you guys.
Rob.